Hi, Charlotte Smith here with BladenOnline.com. Thanks for joining me. I'm here at the Bladen County Schools District Office. I'm here with Dr. Robert Taylor, Bladen County Schools Superintendent.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me.
So glad to be with you, Charlotte.
The school board just had a meeting this week. I think it was Monday.
Yes.
And you all discussed the COVID-19 outbreak and how it is affecting Bladen County schools. Some of our viewers were just wanting to get a little clarification. So will you please explain the grading system since COVID-19 changed the landscape for learning here in Bladen County?
Absolutely. Well, Charlotte, what we tried to do is for the most part, make this something that is not taxing for students. We recognize that connectivity are issues all across the county. There are those students that don't have connectivity, those that do have it, those that are in areas where it's not provided, those that are in areas where it is provided but they can't afford it. So what we've asked teachers to do is to make opportunities for both remote learning as well as send packets out for students. And the majority of this is going to be reviewing work, making sure they address certain standards so that students are able to keep up with learning as much as possible. The state board has also sent out a grading mechanism that allows students to still be able to move to the next grade level. For the most part, it says that they can choose to have a pass, fail, or withdraw from the course. And so really our biggest concern is with seniors, and they have those same opportunities to determine if they want to have a letter grade that will calculate a GPA or a pass-fail. We've asked teachers to try to keep work at a specific length based on the grade level in the school where they are primary, middle, high, so that students are not working 10 or 12 hours a day. And so the max should be about 45 minutes a course at the high school, and it goes down from there.
So students and their parents will decide whether they take a pass-fail? Is that how that's going to work?
Yes. Once we've provided the options for students, it will essentially be them and their parents that determine which route they will take. And so if they choose pass-fail, they will simply notify the teacher or the school, and then we will make sure that's recorded accordingly in Power School. And if they choose to go with the numerical grade, that's their choice. We won't make the choice for them. We will let them know what the state board says their options are, and then they get to choose.
So the work that they're doing at home now will be graded?
It will be graded, not in the traditional sense, because it's really about making sure that students know the information, or being able to provide feedback to the instructor that they understand it. We recognize that there is no way that we can grade students with remote learning as we did when they were actually in the classroom and face-to-face and being able to talk back and forth with the teacher. And so that's our goal, to make sure that they have an opportunity to access it, and that we're going to hold them harmless.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any idea what the plans are for graduation? I know that is the million-dollar question right now.
Yes, that is the million-dollar question, and we're waiting to see what comes out of Raleigh. What I can tell you at this point is we're still in the sort of the stay-home, reduced grouping that the governor has talked about. I think everybody is aware that he's going to go at some point to phase 1, and then phase 2, and then phase 3. And we don't know how we're going to transition from one phase to the next. If I'm not mistaken, I think phase 3 may be the largest, but still that only has about 50 to 100 people. And so that wouldn't precipitate us being able to have a graduation in the traditional sense. When we do graduation, that is the largest event that we host as a school district. And if you're talking about 180 students graduating, in a gym holding close to 1,500 people, 1,200 to 1,500 people, that's our largest group. This is what I can tell everyone, that we are hoping for the best, but planning for the worst. And so I've asked that both our high school principals work collaboratively to determine what our graduation would look like if it is not a traditional graduation. And there are a myriad of options out there. And so we're going to share that information on May the 5th. And we're still hoping that it's a traditional graduation, but it looks like that may not happen. I've actually had an opportunity to talk with the governor's education advisor. They should be actually releasing some information probably today, and we're just going to take our lead from Raleigh.
And how will you release that information? Will you send out like press releases and on Twitter and Facebook, that kind of thing?
Yeah, we're going to use all the mechanisms that we have available, both email, Twitter, whatever those things are, Facebook, contacting parents, press release, all of it. We just want to make sure that everybody understands what the options are that we have if we don't have that tradition.
Okay. Last but not least, we can't forget about our teachers and the school staff. I know they've been working with the distance learning since the COVID-19 outbreak. Have there been any employees that have been furloughed, and are the teachers getting paid as they usually would be?
Absolutely. No employees have been furloughed, and thankfully the state has put measures in place that would have both emergency leave for March and April, and then they can choose to use the emergency leave if they're not in a position to telework. So what I've done as superintendent is to ensure that as many people as possible that are able to telework do so they won't come in and we have conditions where the viruses have the opportunity to be spread. So at this point, no one has been furloughed, no one's pay has been affected. Teachers are at home teleworking and communicating with students, and they sorely miss the students, and so do I. But we're doing everything we can to make it through this. But nobody has been affected as it relates to pay or being furloughed.
Okay, great. Do you know when the next school board meeting is?
We're scheduled for May the 11th.
May the 11th.
May the 11th.
Thank you so very much.
All right, thank you so much.